afternoon, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday. Hope you had a lovely Saturday, guys. And this Saturday has just got a little bit better, hasn't it? With the news that Onana may be leaving Manchester United. Manchester United and Trabzonspor in Turkey have agreed a loan deal in principle, a verbal agreement between the two clubs, but it is up to Andre Onana if he would like to move to Trabzonspor. As I declared a couple of days ago, I did say Onana will be going to Trabzonspor, as I've declared on the channel. Again, guys, Stretford Post, guys, we got the news early, but Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it today that Manchester United agreed verbally in regards to the transfer of Andre Onana to Trabzonspor on a loan deal. Now, guys, this has not gone through yet. We don't know what this has not been confirmed yet, of course, because obviously it is down to Andre Onana. It is down to what he wants at the end of the day, isn't it? If he doesn't want to go to Trabzonspor, we can't force him to go to Trabzonspor. But you know what we do hope is that he does, because we don't need 4 goalkeepers at the football club and each vying for one position. And obviously, Onana feels he's the number one goalkeeper, and he's not going to want to be sitting around on a bench and stuff like that, is he? He's going to be wanting to play first team football, of course, and you know what he's like. He's very self-aware. I mean, not self-aware. He's very unself-aware, should I say, in regards to his abilities and his misdemeanors over the last few years or months, isn't it, guys? But thank you, everyone, for joining me. Great news coming out, of course. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Andre Onana loan deal to Trabzonspor. Down to Andre Onana, up to Andre Onana. Let's hope that happens, guys. Another little piece of news is in regards to Carlos Baleba. Of course, Carlos Baleba was the talk of our summer window. Unfortunately, we didn't get the deal through. But Carlos Baleba has reiterated his stance in regards to wanting to sign for Manchester United. Now, look, one thing about this is that why didn't Carlos Baleba come out in the media during the summer window and say, look, I want to go to Manchester United, sell me to Manchester United? Part of me feels Man United didn't want to do the deal yet. Apparently, Manchester United will make another approach for Baleba in January. However, I would take that with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because obviously the January, we don't really do massive deals like that. If we were going to do a deal, it's going to be like a young player coming in or something along those lines. But Carlos Baleba would be a magnificent signing for Manchester United. And who knows, maybe his price might have reduced by the time we get to January and by the time we get to the next summer, of course, long way away. He has not started in the way that he had hoped. Obviously, been substituted twice in 2 games, but obviously he can grow into the season, etc., guys. But one thing I would say is that when it comes to the next transfer windows in regards to January and the summer, we know that other teams are going to be interested in him from around Europe, so it might be a little bit more difficult to get Carlos Baleba, which is why, as I stated on Stretford Post a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Manchester United have organised a meeting with Carlos Baleba at the end of this month. Noises coming out of the Baleba camp is that he wants Manchester United, which has encouraged Ineos and encouraged the board to proceed with the transfer and try and get some kind of verbal agreement between Baleba and Manchester United, of course, guys, which shouldn't be an issue, as he was willing to sign for Manchester United during the summer, guys. So that is very, very good news. Would take it with a pinch of salt. I do know about spin. I know what Man United do. I do know about PTSD within the Manchester United fan base and stuff like that. I do know that the ball like to twist things. We've been here before, haven't we? But it's not in the realms of impossibility that something like that could happen. So a January would be great. Would have been lovely if we got him in the summer window, but it's not to be. But Onana is one that we needed to get rid of and going to Trabzonspor. It's not that we're selling him. Of course, the loan is still yet to be, the formalities and the details of the loan are yet to be discussed. But what I would say is that getting him at the football club will be a big thing. We don't need 4 goalkeepers, guys. We really don't. So that would mean that Bayindir and Lamens will be the 2 goalkeepers that will be vying for the spot, the number 1 spot. I really do hope it is Lamens. I believe that Lamens is the future of Man United. And it's always important for a manager to have his own goalkeeper in there. As I spoke about a few times, Alex Ferguson had Peter Schmeichel in there. And, that was his guy. I do believe that Bayindir is not Ruben Amorim's guy. He needs his guy. And I think Sally Lamens is his guy, of course, guys. But very, very interesting. Another piece of news coming out of Manchester United. Manchester United, if they do not get their targets for January, Manchester United have approached Chelsea about a possible deal for Lavia. Now, Romeo Lavia is a 21-year-old player who came from Southampton, remember, did pretty well, Belgium international. He's worth about 40 million euros. Manchester United have looked at Lavia over the summer, guys, and are going to revisit this player in January if obviously they don't get Baleba in January. However, the Baleba deal does look a little bit like it's got wheels on it. Manchester United are very interested in Romano Lavia. So a good player. We know how he was at Southampton. I don't think it's quite lit up for him at Chelsea. Got one cap for Belgium. But, it's something that, I don't think it's his fault. I think the thing with Chelsea, going to Chelsea's an underrated graveyard. Right, that's what I would say. It's an underrated graveyard. Chelsea rarely make players, they rarely do that. Apart from obviously Carl Palmer, who's already a decent player at Man City, went to obviously Chelsea and is doing okay, but they don't really make players. They actually destroy them, in my opinion. And I think Lavia is one of them. But Man United, Lavia, another name. Obviously, we've had a few names over this last couple of days, including Verratti and players like that who have been interested with Man United. And we're going to get that. But what we need to understand is this: Manchester United will have a few players that we're interested in, but we have to narrow it down to the players that Man United really want, which is Carlos Baleba. It's pretty evident that Manchester United wanted Carlos Baleba during the summer. And obviously the news with Jason Wilcox not wanting a midfielder is complete lies. It's a myth. Jason Wilcox did want a midfielder. Otherwise, we wouldn't be chasing for 2 weeks for Baleba, wasting our time, would we, at the end of the day? We were, however, outpriced in regards to it. We did put a ridiculous bid in of 50 plus 5 million incentives, which I think is ridiculous, insulting for Brighton. But, hopefully we'll come back into this deal later on down the line, all being well, and Baleba will be a Man United player eventually, guys. But, we never know what's going to happen in the future, do we? We never know who's the next shining light to come out of football, and we might be interested in that player or that player. Anything can happen in here. This is why we're saying, if you're going to do the deal, do it now. Because, if he does very well this season, we know that we're going to have Liverpool and Arsenal and Real Madrid and Barcelona and PSG all after him at the same time, and his head will be turned. This is why I felt that we should have done the deal in the summer. However, I would say again that if we're arranging this meeting with Baleba and all the noises are positive, then I think that Man United should just go for the deal. If he truly wants to play for Manchester United, let it be, and let's hope that he does. Of course, guys, absolutely. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope you're all doing well. Good to see you. Hope everything is good with you guys. Of course, guys, welcome to the stream. Big up Mski. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Romano update. Already spoken about it. Of course, big up my friends. Big up Dembo, my friend. Ephraim, good afternoon. Sal, no, gone. It's fantastic news. Very good news, of course. Not gone, but will be. Could come back, obviously. Could come back. In regards to Onana, it could come back next year. We don't know at the end of the day. Not sold yet. Sal, why our players always moan? I don't know what you're on about, mate. What's going on? Afternoon, brother. Go, please, Onana. Go, need it. Big up, Daryl. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'll be having a lovely Saturday, of course. Peace and blessings, my friend RJ. Good to see you, mate. Tio, good afternoon. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Great news about Onana. Absolutely, Tia Pedro. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Big up RJ again. Good news. It's good news. He's out of the football club. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. He's look. I would think he's an undercover bomb squad member. I do believe that Onana is an undercover bomb squad member. I think he's part of the Sancho crew. I do, because having him at the football club, looking like a wet salmon. So he's been hit by a wet salmon on the bench. I actually, guys, I know this might sound a little bit sinister, but I actually felt like he gave away that game against Grimsby. I actually feel like he gave that game away. I actually feel like he purposely didn't save penalties. Is that a thing? You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the penalties and I'm looking at the way he let them in. His hands are flopping all over the place. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, really not good. AJ, Baleba in January, mate. Maybe. Let's hope so. Jay, let's hope so. If not, it will be in the summer. I would point out that Manchester United don't usually do massive deals in January, especially with this ownership, because obviously the financial year, of course, and it will go onto the books of this year. Of course, Man United will be looking to do a fresh approach in the summer, which will go into next year's books. But look, you never know what's going to happen. Man United do have money, which is why they bid 50 plus 5 million for him this summer, of course. They do have that money there. And they have got rid of a few players as well. Man United have got more money than we actually think they've got. And this is the thing. And we could have spent a bit more money. I do agree with not signing any player for the signing any player. But what I would also point out is that Man United are a little bit short on the midfield position, and we should have got that midfield position a little bit more covered, in my humblest of opinion, guys. But if we get Baleba, eventually that will be a good signing, of course, guys. Big up, Dan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Sanjay. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Daryl. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, my friend. Hopefully, Baleba comes in January. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed, Daryl. Let's wait and see, of course. Afternoon, Sal, and the community. How are you, my friend? Very well, Marky Mark. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Amazing news. I hope he finds his form so we can sell him for more. I agree. I wish him nothing but the best. Just like I wish nothing Rashford, but nothing but the best. The only player I don't wish the best are Anthony and Garnacho. I don't wish them the best at all. I really don't, to be honest with you. Anthony and Sancho need to just go and get lost, to be honest with you. But especially Garnacho. Garnacho is the one that really needs to go because, the way he treated and, Man United and stuff like that and the fans and that is disgraceful at the end of the day. Dan SC, we don't want him to be a problem player causing issues with the club. He is a humble player. Let it just do it this the right way. In regards to Onana, a humble player, Onana's far from humble, Dan FC. I mean, the guy lacks so much accountability and self-awareness. It's unbelievable. And I've heard that from people inside the club. He actually thinks he doesn't make any mistakes. He doesn't apologize for mistakes. He doesn't own up to his mistakes. And you can see it on the pitch. He never goes like this. Sorry, guys. Sorry, lads. I made a mistake. You'll never see him do that. That's what's very dangerous about Onana. Is that he's not aware of the mistakes he has made. He's cost us 20 points last season, cost us the Europa League final. Of course, guys, with that save, any goalkeeper in the Premier League would have saved that goal. And obviously, it's cost us the Champions League a couple of years ago as well. So, look, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he goes to Trabzonspor. Great country, Turkey, guys. Great country. He's going to enjoy it. Go to Trabzonspor, smash it, get your price up, and then we see what happens, of course, guys. Absolutely. RJ, I think United are already agreeing for FIFA. I think United have agreed personal terms with Baleba. I think that has been done a while ago. So what Man United have done, because obviously the problems that happened with the deal this summer, Man United have arranged this meeting with Baleba so they can try and get a confirmation that he still wants to come to Manchester United. Happily, the noises coming out of the Baleba camp is that he wants to come to Manchester United. He's desperate to come to Man United. What I would say in regards to that is that why didn't he do this in the past? Why didn't he do this summer window? Why didn't he come out and say he wants to go to Man United? Because part of me feels like Man United didn't want to spend the money this summer. That's what I think. That's what I'm feeling now. But so why would they spend the money in January if they didn't want to spend the money in the summer? So this is what makes me feel that they're going to go after him in next summer. This is what makes me feel like I just can't see us doing a deal for Baleba unless something like miraculous happens in regards to negotiation with Brighton and stuff. I'm sure Brighton won't want to sell him in January either. They would like to wait until the summer. Well, let's wait and see, of course. Daryl, you're watching the England game, obviously not watching along, but you will be watching it. Daryl, I'll try and watch it, my friend. I did the watch along for. I was caught in two minds, Daryl, whether to do the watch along for England today. I'm doing the watch along for England on Tuesday against Serbia, of course, guys. I did the Andorra watch along last time, and it was one of the most boring 1 hour and a half of my life. But what I would say is that, look, I wanted to do it, but I've got a couple of things to do. But I will be keeping an eye on it, of course. England, I expect nothing but a 3-4, 5-0 win. And that's what should happen anyway. Of course, guys, absolutely that should happen, of course. Marky Mark. Big up the members, by the way. Hopefully we can weather the storm until January and get a midfielder. Angry we didn't get him done in the summer, but staying positive. But Amram, everyone, he is one to be being the common Marky Mark. Absolutely, mate. This is why I love Marky Mark's comments, mate. Because at the end of the day, he knows what Ruben Amorim is trying to do. The culture that Ruben Amorim is trying to change. He's trying to a total culture shift in regards to where Man United have been, over this last 10, 12 years. We're trying to change that. Getting rid of Rashford, getting rid of Anthony, getting rid of Garnacho, getting rid of Onana as well, guys. This is very, very important, guys. And this is not down to, by the way, Ineos. This is down to Ruben Amorim. This is Ruben Amorim's choice. This is what Ruben Amorim wants. Ruben Amorim wanted to change the culture at Manchester United, and he's doing that. And this is what I like. He takes no prisoners. That's what I like about him. He takes no prisoners. He knows what he wants. This guy is not, I don't want this guy at the football club. I don't want him. Look, guys, I told you guys, isn't it? Not many people know this about what happened with the Anthony situation. Anthony was told to play a right wing back position, and basically Anthony told Ruben Amorim to F off, basically. That's what basically happened, and that was the end of it, right? And that is the culture that Ruben Amorim is trying to get rid of at the football club. And he's doing a very good job so far, guys. I know we haven't got rid of the players, so to speak, in regards to selling the players. I know that they've gone on loan, but their toxicity within the football club would have been a problem. And now this toxicity is going to be removed, which I think is going to be fantastic. Of course, football highlights official. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. Turkey Airlines is rumored to cover Onana's loan fee. Oh, wow. I've been on Turkish Airlines. Make him their brand ambassador. Turkish Airlines globally. Yours, Onana, goals are yours. Football, I got there. I almost fell for that one, my friend. I almost fell for that one, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been on Turkish Airlines. It's a little bit underwhelming. I mean, I did learn about Turkish Airlines from the fact that they used to be with Man United, didn't they, back in the day? Daryl, yeah, brother, at the in-laws having dinner, bro. A big up, yo, bro, at the in-laws. Big up, have fun, Daryl. Look, at the end of the day, it's Saturday. Of course, guys, I missed the Saturdays when I was growing up. No Edmonds house party and all that. You know what I mean? Big up, literally soft wrist. He has not got no wrist. Onana has got a wrist. His wrists are made of springs. He's got two springs. One spring there, and he's like this. You know what I mean? God is good. God is good. Sal Onana is gone. Big up. He's going. He's up to him. He's not gone yet. He hasn't made up his mind yet, Kenny. Let's hope he makes up his mind and he goes to Trabzonspor. Good move for him, mate. Point of staying at Man United. He's got a World Cup to think about at the end of the season. Of course, these players got World Cups to think about. They need to do, they need to go, of course, guys. Absolutely. Tia, agree, Onana didn't care about the cup game. He didn't care. And this is the one bone I would pick on Ruben Amorim. And guys, I would say that Ruben Amorim should not have picked Onana in that game. And I said it before the game. Is Onana going to be serious? Is Onana going to be up for this game? Because I was watching Onana's body language over the last couple of weeks, and I was like, you know what? That guy's not happy. His facial expressions have changed. He's got this miserable face like he's been hit with a wet salmon, as I said. And you know what? When I saw his name on that Grimsby team sheet, I was like, you know what I mean? Especially the way that Grimsby hit the crosses in and they play their balls and stuff like that. It was always going to be dangerous, of course, guys. Arostasi, good afternoon. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, of course. Hope everything is good. How did Onana lose his form, though? He was like a damn good before he joined United. He was never that good, Arostasi. Yeah, he wasn't. The fact that Inter Milan wanted to sell him so quickly, didn't even negotiate the fee, take him. I know from Inter Milan, he made loads of mistakes at Inter Milan. Loads. All right, he had a good cup run. But at the end of the day, he made loads of mistakes at Inter Milan. Inter Milan didn't want him. Trust me. As a guy connected to Italy, I know that 100%. This is why we put in a fee, ridiculous money, 50 million, and they said, yes, take it. He had a couple of good games in the Champions League, and people obviously bring out the highlight reels, but look at Inter Milan's defense. Look at the way they set themselves up. They got a lot of experience in that team, of course. Trust, brother, understand that. Big up, Daryl. Big up, my friend. Sal, what is your thought of a Mainu post? Look, guys, at the end of the day, what I care about is Man United, and I care about what happens at Man United on the pitch. If people don't want to play for this football club, if they want to be petulant, it's up to them. If they want to write stupid little indirect comments on Twitter, on Instagram, it's up to them. We all know what happens with players these days. If they don't fall on the wayside, if they don't, start acting professional, because this is what the problem is about the culture. Fight for your place, Mainu. You got an opportunity, Kobe Mainu, to play against Manchester City. Yeah, you got an opportunity. You may play against Man City. Bruno may move into the 10 because obviously Mason Mount and Cunha are injured. You may get an opportunity. I believe he needs an opportunity. I agree that he does need more opportunity, but so far, what I've seen, guys, and I'm not dissing, but so far, I saw him coming against Grimsby and they get absolutely outrun by Grimsby. We didn't start playing until Bruno came on. So, at the end of the day, look, I wanted him. I want him in the team. But, when you get in the team, Mainu, you got to show us. You got to show us that you mean business, and you got to show us that you're up for it, up for the task, of course, guys. Daryl, 100% Sal, but surely he will clear that the shit. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Look, the one thing that annoyed me a little bit over this last couple of weeks was the extension on Jadon Sancho's contract. I don't think it was necessary. Jadon Sancho is going to come back to Manchester United next year, and he's going to have another year on his contract, and we're going to be in the same issue as we are. Part of me feels that Man United are doing it as a money-making tool. Maybe that's just business. I think so, because obviously if they can get a loan for Sancho and get the team to pay their wages, plus get a fee for Sancho, then they're making money, isn't it, at the end of the day? So that's what I was thinking they were doing. That was the only real problem that we had. But I just don't want Ruben Amorim to have any distractions. Luckily, this season, we're not going to have any, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to have any distractions. We've got the team that we need. We've got the players that we want, and happy days. That's what I hope, of course, guys. Absolutely. Johnny, big up Daryl, my friend. We bought Bayindir from Turkey, and now we are sending his brother back. Big up, Johnny. Yeah, it's a good move for Onana. A good experience for Onana playing in a big club in Turkey. You know, it's good for him. Absolutely. Do City have 10 players out? I don't believe that mind the game doors. Nah, mate, City don't have 10 games out. Look, and if City did have 10 players out, then you know what Pep Guardiola is, isn't it? Pep Guardiola is a checkbook manager. Pep Guardiola is going to start moaning for more money. Going to start moaning for, let me get another player, let me buy another player, etc., etc., etc. I can't believe that we've had Manchester City kids on national TV getting a platform talking smack about Alex Ferguson, saying that Pep's better than Alex Ferguson. Guys, Alex Ferguson took charge of Aberdeen, guys. And I don't need Google for this, right? Alex Ferguson took charge of Aberdeen, stopped the gauntlet of Celtic and Rangers winning the league, right? 20 times in an odd row, and won the league with Aberdeen. He didn't only win the league with Aberdeen. He went to Europe and defeated Real Madrid in the final and won Aberdeen a European trophy, guys, right? Not even Arsenal win European trophies. Not only that, he rebuilt Man United. And this is what I like about Ruben Amorim in regards to Paul McGrath and Gordon Strachan and that. And there was this culture at Man United. There was this drinking culture at Man United. He got rid of that, even though some of those players were fan favorites. Alex Ferguson got rid of that, and he built team, not one team. He built a few world-class teams at Manchester United. You know, I can't say the same about Pep Guardiola. Can't say. And Man United are never top of the league in regards to spending. You know, people say, oh, but you broke the record. But ultimately, we ain't spent as much as the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. We haven't. Pep Guardiola outspent Alex Ferguson's 26-year tenure in 5 years. Between 2008 and 2013, he outspent Alex Ferguson's 26-year tenure. You know, ridiculous. Daryl, trust me, bro. I miss them old days, brother. Me too, man. Miss them as well, mate. I really do miss the good old Saturdays, mate. I used to my Saturdays used to be like this. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll watch Football Focus, I'll watch a bit of Grandstand, I watch a bit of football, I watch a bit of Soccer AM, of course, when I had Sky. Big up Soccer AM, the guy, I worked for Soccer AM a couple of times with the music side of things. So great people on there, guys, absolutely fantastic people. Worked with them, and obviously I used to do that. Then in the afternoon you will watch. I would sometimes go to games, but, you know, if I didn't go to games, I'd be watching Soccer Saturday, and then I'll be watching, the TV. The Saturday night TV was the best, of course. Johnny, seriously, though, all the best to him. Lovely weather, and he will love the kebabs. Can I be honest with you, Johnny? I went to Turkey only about a year ago. I was in Turkey, and I didn't like the kebabs. I felt like I've had better kebabs in Europe, in England. But anyway, guys, I might get a lot of hate mail for that one, because obviously they invented the kebab apparently. So yeah, look, yeah. But at the end of the day, look, good luck to him. Wishing the best of luck. If he chooses to go there, though, guys, he can turn around right now and say, guys, look, I'm not going. I want to fight for my place. Imagine he did that. Imagine he turned around and said, no. Oh, no. I'm going to fight for my place. And that's what I'm going to do, of course, guys. Sal, what is a acceptable season? Europe. That's what I would say, Ephraim. Europe. Higher than City, at least. It's a bigger arrows to see. Sal, if Onana gone, I think Senny Lamens will start soon. I mean, he's going to be in the top two, isn't he? That's what we need to understand. That he's going to be in the top two goalkeepers at Man United. He's going to be number one or number two, which is great. I would start him. I really would. So if Onana gone, I think so. Yeah, I think I read. Yeah. Tio, Amorim plan, put Onana out of form in a cub and kick him out. I mean, maybe he was. Maybe that's a reverse psychology kind of thing, Tio, you know, and put him into the team. Absolutely. Make him have an absolute stinker of a game. Embarrassed us, to be honest with you. I've never seen a goalkeeper performance like it in my life. You could have put any goalkeeper between the sticks. Man United would have won that game against Grimsby. If we didn't win it in 90 minutes with the two mistakes that Onana made, we would have won it on penalty shootouts. Because let's be real, guys. Grimsby's penalties weren't good. You know what I mean? And he let so many in, like just letting it flop in his hand. It's a gross misconduct. It's a slander, and he got us knocked out of the total corner. I rest to see. Senny Lamens must start, bruv. Who do you trust to go? Senny Lamens is ready. I know he's ready. I've known he's ready for 1 year. I've been watching Senny Lamens for 1 year. I got a lot of respect for that guy. I think he's going to be an absolute diamond of a player, absolutely, for Man United. And he's going to be between the sticks, guys. He's going to be between the sticks for a very, very long time, guys. A very, very long time he's going to be between the sticks. And, that's what I hope. Like, we have that Schmeichel thing where, you know what, he's going to be there for years to come, of course, guys. We have that thing going on. Do you know what I mean? And I really do hope that he plays against Man City. But I mean, I'm not going to moan and groan if he doesn't. I do know eventually he's going to be in that Man United team. I do know eventually he will be in that Man United team eventually. Of course. Johnny, now that Mazraoui is back, I've seen a lot of people say Mazraoui has to start, and I've seen a lot say that he should take Euro's spot. I think that fan base is crazy, to be honest. No, Euro needs to stay in that football team. Euro is probably one of our best performing players, and I have to be real here. Euro is a generational. Euro is very close to becoming one of the best defenders in the world in the next couple of years. Let me tell you that. Guys, he's the best young defender. I would argue that with anyone. I think he's the best young defender in Europe. If we're going to play Mazraoui, and fair play to Mazraoui, play him at right back. Play him at right back. Dalot's not very good, and I don't trust really Ahmad to play that right wing back position. I don't think he's disciplined enough. So just play Dalot, Mazraoui that side. I think he will play a more defensive player there, but I trust Mazraoui more than I trust Dalot on that side, if I'm being honest. Daryl, yes, trust me, bro. I don't understand why they would do it, but like you said, money maker. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Daryl. I don't understand. Trust. I don't underestimate Sir Alex. Trust me, people. People want to underestimate. Some people may say that, this gentleman who was on the Sky Sports, he was clever and he's smart. He's trying to get clicks and stuff. And fair play, he's trying to do that. He's trying to make a name for himself. But, when someone wasn't born and someone wasn't around during that time and watched Alex Ferguson, they wouldn't understand. They just wouldn't understand. Like, Pep Guardiola couldn't do anything without money. He couldn't. And people want to talk about, what did he do with Barcelona? Look, we did with Barcelona. Not, guys. Frank Rijkaard built that Barcelona team with Xavi, with Iniesta, with Messi. It was Frank Rijkaard who built that team, not Pep Guardiola. That's a myth. He just came in and played his little tiki-taka football. That's all it was at the end of the day. But the basis of the team was already built by Frank Rijkaard, guys. And what did he do at Bayern Munich? Everyone wins the league at Bayern Munich, for goodness sake. Even Harry Kane's won a league at Bayern Munich, for goodness sake. What did he do at Bayern? Did he win a Champions League at Bayern Munich? Absolutely not. It took him 1 billion, right, to win one Champions League for Manchester City in the last 10. How long's he been there now? Nearly 10 years, guys, 1 billion to bloody win one Champions League for Man United, and even that for Man City, and even that was a fluke, of course. Sadly, Sally says not with us no anymore. Sadly, yeah, but he's still the best. Fergie 71. In my opinion, ourselves, man, who don't care what his talent is, we don't need players like him. If he was good enough, he'd be starting their games at the moment. He is not playing well. Fergie 71. I agree with you, mate. I mean, at the end of the day, as much as I want to see Mainu play, as much as I want to see him in the number 8 position, he seems like he's a little bit above his shore, so to speak. He's a little bit above himself at the moment, and I think that needs to stop. That's the culture that needs to stop at this football club, thinking that you're bigger than this football club, and we've got too many players like that who think they got a divine right to be in this football team at the moment. Every single one of those players are as bad as one another, who contributed to us having our worst season in my lifetime last season. Right, every single one of them. Kobbie Mainoo did not have a good season last season. When he played, he did not set the world alight. He played one game well, and we all remember what it was. It was against Lyon, of course, guys. So that's about it. Yes, he needs more opportunities, but he got an opportunity. He didn't need the other day, and he didn't take it against Grimsby. Now, look, if he just sits tight and is a little bit patient, right, he may get his wish. He may end up playing. At number 8 against Man City and teams like that. And that's his time to shine. That's where he can shine. He can show us all what he's all about. You know what I mean? He can start doing that and stop moaning. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, because we're tired of it. Absolutely. Euro reels have the lots on. Or I mean, at the end of the day, are us to see. These YouTube wheels and stuff like that. I can make any team any player in the world football look like the next world-class player. I can make any player in world football look like the worst player in the world. That's what YouTube reels do. You can get a bunch of mistakes from Peter Schmeichel, right? And put them all together into one thing over 26 years and make him look like the worst goalkeeper of all time. He's not, though, is he? He's the best goalkeeper in Premier League history. So this is what the thing about YouTube reels. And the unintelligent few listen to these and they watch these YouTube reels and they're like, oh, he's not that good, actually. Oh, my God, he's not that good. For goodness sake, guys, come on. if you've done a YouTube reel about me, right? I'm a nice guy, I'm a good person and stuff like that. You could probably make me look like the worst person in the world. Put all my streams together and all the bits together to form a narrative that suits you. You can make me look like whatever you want to make me look like. And that's the same with YouTube reels, you know, and people look at these YouTube reels and they take them for gospel. And it's unintelligent, it's stupidness, it's lack of ball knowledge, in my opinion. Onana's overweight, not fat. I wouldn't say that. He has a lot of muscle mass. He's got too much muscle on the top half of his body. Bit like Johnny Bravo, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. He does have a little bit too much muscle mass on the top of his body. And when you have too much muscle mass on top of your body, it's hard to get down quickly. You need to be a little bit more athletic, like David De Gea was. David De Gea wasn't like this, was he? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. I mean, there's only a couple of goalkeepers I remember like Onana. I mean, I remember Peruzzi. He was a better goalkeeper than Onana, but I remember Peruzzi was quite chunky. Nowadays, you've got to be flexible. You've got to be agile. If David De Gea was in the final against Tottenham Hotspur, Man United win that game. And that's it. That's all I would say. I would argue that your logic doesn't work because Højlund was starting loads of games when he was bad. So was Garnacho over the years, Bruno and Rashford too. Tio, we need to be careful about an exit because Baleba is his country friend. I mean, if you get persuaded by country friends, so is Bremo, Pedro, you know, so is Bremo. Bremo's his friend too. So what can we say? You know, at the end of the day. And guess who else is his friend? Lenny Yoro. They played with each other at Lille, my friend. So at the end of the day, look, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. There are friends there in regards to Baleba. Baleba wants to come to Manchester United, not Onana FC. And that's what it is at the end of the day. And we hope that goes through, guys, of course. Of course, guys. Arrest Baleba would understand how good of a volleyball player his friend is. Big up. Big up, Scott. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Good to see the members in the house today. Really appreciate you. Big up, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream and happy Saturday. Hope you're on a relaxed, lovely, relaxed Saturday, guys. Absolutely. I definitely am just taking it easy today, guys. I wasn't feeling too good today, guys. I wasn't feeling too good. I had a little bit of a migraine and stuff like that, but I shouldered on, and I got on with it. And guys, some news. I mean, news coming out of Man United thick and fast every single day, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's hard to keep up. We thought the transfer window was over. Not on your bottom dollar, guys. Absolutely not. Stephen, going to watch the football. Thanks, Sal. Big up, great. Big up, Stephen. Enjoy England. Come on, England. Big up, my friend, if you're supporting England. I got 2 football shirts now. One with Embuemo on the back and one the other Euro on the back. Big up, Johnny. Big up. Nice choice, mate. Nice choice. Very, very nice choice, of course. Pep always has a blank check and a well guy. Whenever things don't go well for Pep, he gets out the blank check and he says, I need some more players. I need more players. You know what I mean? Try doing it the Sir Alex Ferguson way. Try playing bloody Carrick and Fletcher at centre-back, guys, away to Everton, or going to Wolfsburg and having Gibson and Owen and players like that and sweeping them off the park. You know, try playing Rafael on left midfield and Fabio on right midfield and beating Arsenal 2-0. No, man. Look, this we're talking about levels here. Do you know what I mean? Levels, of course. Benny, is it true? Oh, no, he's going Onana. Look, it's up to him. It's not over yet, Benny. It is up to Onana if he wants to go to Turkey. Onana could turn around and say, nah, don't want to go. And then we can't do anything about it. Hopefully he cares about his career. Hopefully he cares about his World Cup ambitions as well. And he goes, of course. Ephraim, Sal, why you do not scout players from United? Because they won't give me the job. If they give me the job, I'll get them loads of great players. I know loads over here. I know loads of players over the world, guys. Absolutely. I bet I was the first one to mention Dorgu before them. Our first one to mention Seny Lamens. And if you scroll back, no one knew who Seny Lamens was when I mentioned him. Right? Nobody. Right? I said this player is a player that Man United should looking at when I first mentioned him a year ago. 2024, I think I mentioned him, something like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I would love to do that. If they wanted me to do it, I can do it any time of day. Guys, absolutely. Like I would say about AC, like I've been scouting AC Milan recently and stuff like that. And I look at Liberali and I look at Kamada and I look at these players who are coming through the ranks over there. AC Milan got a bright future. And I think Man United need to do a little bit of scouting, of course, guys. Absolutely. A little bit of scouting. Big up, Jules. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But good to see you again. I hope everything is blessed with you, my friend. Good to see you again. Long time. No, Man United have agreed, verbally agreed to loan Onana out to Trabzonspor. So Man United agreed a loan deal with Trabzonspor verbally. Now, this all depends on Onana. If Onana wants to go, then he's going to go. But if he doesn't want to go, well, nothing Man United can do. So fingers crossed, Onana goes to Turkey. Hopefully he gets the move, and we can not wash our hands of him. But you know what? Think about that in about 8 months' time or something like that. Big up, Jules. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you as usual. Samuel, good morning, good evening, good night. How you doing? Hello, hallelujah. Andre Onana is going out on loan. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so, Samuel. I hope so, my friend. Benny, my guy, what is Benny going on? In regards to Manu, good player, but I prefer back to Nicky Butt when he was behind Scholes and Keane. Absolutely. But when he was called on, he was always ready. That's a United player. DNA, brother. DNA, Benny. DNA. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would score 4 goals in one game, get dropped the next game. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about. Not only them, not only these players, man. We always had squad. You know, whether we had Mark Hughes or Dion Dublin or Eric Cantona, we always had a bloody squad. Whether we had Ryan Giggs or Lee Sharp, you know what I mean? We always had a squad, you know, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. Absolutely. And each one of those players played their part. No moaning, no groaning. Nicky Butt will play for Man United, do well for Man United every single time he'll come on. He'll never let himself down or the team down. And then, you know what? Would not moan when he's benched the next game. But will be ready for whatever. And Nicky Butt can retire like he's retired now and look at his career and say, wow, look, I've won. He played in the Champions League final in 1999. You know, and if you're just a little bit patient, if he's just a little bit patient, you know, this Manu, maybe he might get his opportunity. You know, because at the end of the day, if he just zip up, now what Manu's doing in turn to himself, he's damaging himself a little bit because, you know, he's going to put pressure on himself to perform now. Every time he comes on, every time he starts, it's going to be pressure for him to perform. RJ, do you think we will go for Bawadi in January 7th? Nothing in regards to him at the moment, even though I like the player a lot. Obviously, he's at Nice, which is obviously Ineos. So I don't know why Man United don't quite make a deal for that player. What I'm starting to believe is that I think that Ineos are looking to sell Nice. Guys, I think they're looking to sell Nice. Samuel, did the shirt sponsorship Sharp go into liquidation? I don't know, but big up Sharp, by the way. Love Sharp. Best sponsorship in Premier League history. Absolutely. Sharp, Cam, Sharp, both of them. Best sponsorships in Manchester United history. Right here, guys. Sharp. Absolutely brilliant sponsorship, guys. And yeah, look, I wish them all the best. It's very difficult these days to keep up with technologies and stuff because technology is moving rapidly and it's moving fast. In particular, like TVs and things like that, which Sharp used to do. Sharp used to do a whole bunch of things and stuff like that, radios and stereos and everything. And I always liked Sharp, you know, as I did with, I did like what's the HVC as well, of course, as well. Like, you know, it's difficult to keep up appearances, as they say. YouTube starts don't give aura, though. Only Instagram reels. The best is definitely Manu reel. Ronaldo reel. I mean, Ronaldo is just ridiculous, man. Ronaldo's 99 away from 1,000 goals. 99 away from 1,000 goals. I remember when Peter Shilton played for Leyton Orient in the 3rd division at the time. And he made his 1,000th league appearance for Leyton Orient. Right, it was live on TV and stuff like that. I was in Leyton at that time, living in Leyton. Ronaldo scoring his 1,000th goal. His 1,000th goal. That is ridiculous. That is just the GOAT, guys. The GOAT. Forget about how many goals you score against Venezuela, guys. Ronaldo is the GOAT, man. He plays in European football. Is much more difficult, of course. And that World Cup was rigged. I would say 120,000 times in a row. Peruzzi, great goalkeeper. A wall. He was a wall. It was an absolute wall. He loved the spaghetti and things like that, but he was an absolute wall. You see the lineup for England? Not seen it, mate. Not seen it yet. Let me have a look, mate. Let me have a look. I'm going to have a look at the England lineup now, guys. Let me just have a look at this. If you don't mind. If you don't mind, let me just have a look at this lineup. Right, England. Let me have a look because I haven't seen the lineup, to be fair. Let me just have a look at it on my phone, to be honest with you, because I'm very interested to see that lineup, mate. I'm very interested to see the England at the lineup today because you know what? They're going to beat Andorra anyway. They can play bloody. England could get the bunch of League Two players and beat Andorra. Right, let me say England. Famous last words, by the way. I shouldn't really say that, but you know what? Let's wait and see what it is. Okay. No, I don't want England under 21, lads. I don't want England under 21. I want England. Come on, England. Let me have a look. I've been to loads of England games, by the way, guys, in my life. Went to 98 World Cup against Tunisia. All right. England against Andorra. Let's have a look at this. Lineups, of course. So, Rice and Anderson. Madueke, Eze, Rashford, Kane. Skelly, James, Gui, Byrne, Pickford. That's not bad, to be honest with you. Apart from maybe Rashford. Don't think he deserves a place in the England team, but well, hey-ho. I think that's not bad. Madueke, Eze, and Kane's not bad. Anderson and Rice. Look, listen, guys. I think people are sleeping on Anderson. I think Anderson's not a bad player, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be a good player. No Bellingham, of course. No Cole Palmer. No Foden. Big up, Darryl. My friend, big up. Sal, some of our fans are a problem. They gas our players. They are Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, some people don't even rate Cristiano, which makes me go absolutely bonkers when people don't rate Cristiano. My goodness me. What? The only Ballon d'Or in the last bloody 30 years. Samuel, David De Gea was more known for being into his rock bands than a long beard. Big up, Samuel. Yeah, he does like rock. Mainly replied a United stand video insinuating that he's unhappy at United because of the post with Stretch. I mean, look, he shouldn't get involved in that. And I said the same about Garnacho. I'll say the same about Mainu. This is a media for you. If you respond to every single person who mentions your name, you're going to be here all day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's things I say that he might not be happy with. There's things I say that I'd be happy with at the end of the day. I don't like to be negative. This is one thing I don't like being on these podcasts, on these content creation pages. I don't like being negative because I think it defeats the point of supporting the football club. But you can be real and you can call things as they are. And why is Mainu responding for? Why? You know, at the end of the day, get your head down and just get on with it. This is precisely the culture that we're trying to say. And we bang on about culture. This is precisely what we're trying to say. I mean, social media, number one. Stay away from your phone. This thing right here, pull it away. Pull it away. Leave it alone for 1 minute. Guys, have you noticed how much anxiety and stuff like that thing creates? Have you seen how much, like, you know, when it's next to your bedside, you're always like, oh, you know, I'm going to get a message. I'm going to get a bad message. Someone's abusing me on there and someone, You always, and it's building up your anxiety and your blood pressure and things like that. Listen, if you're a professional footballer, what you got to do, right? You got to say to yourself, I'm not going to look at social media. Nah, my guy handles that. I don't need to look at social media. And that's all it should be. All it should be. I don't need to look at social media. That's it. You know, at the end of the day. And that is a sacrifice that you make for earning all that money every single week. No social media. I'm there anyway. I don't need it. Body, and that's what it is. Ciao. How you been, Onana gone and still don't understand? Some people still defending Arteta, especially Goldbridge. At the end of the day, look, I like Goldbridge. I've known Goldbridge for 7 years, guys. I have nothing against Goldbridge. I think he's a lovely fella, and we do talk. And one thing I'll say, I've nearly worked with him as well. He nearly come over here to the UAE, by the way. Look, I don't think, let me be honest with you guys, right? Where Arsenal were and where Arsenal are now, okay? Arsenal were down in the pits before Arteta came there, right? The way Arsenal play is the way they play, but they get results and they come in the Champions League, right? Yes, they need to win something this year. I agree with that. But I think there is an overly criticism about Arteta. There is an overly exaggerated criticism about Arteta. There is, at the end of the day. Be careful what you wish for in football, right? If Arteta doesn't win a trophy this year, then you can turn around to him and say, blah, blah, blah. He spent $1 billion, blah, blah, blah. But look at things from a level of context. You know, where Arsenal were, where they are now. They are a dangerous team. They got to the Champions League semi-final. They're okay. They're doing all right, right? So look, at the end of the day, as much as I banter Arsenal, as much as I do that, I do believe that, you know, the criticism does get a little bit stupid sometimes in regards to impatience. And that's exactly what I'm talking about the art of patience. The art of patience in the fans, the art of patience in the players, i.e. Kobe Mainu, no patience there. You know, that's what we're talking about at the end of the day. You know, we're talking about patience. And I think that if Arsenal don't win anything this season, then we can turn around and say, yeah. But he's done a good job there. He's done a good job in the way they play, the way they set up. I know they won no trophies. I know that. But the way they play, the way they set up, they play good football, right? But this is his season. This is the season that it has to be over. Now, people talk about he crosses the ball into the box. As far as I'm aware, Man United won many trophies crossing the ball into the box. Man United won the Champions League with crosses, with corners, you know? Very important. And it's something that we haven't done over the years. We haven't practiced corners. We don't score corners. We don't have those towering Steve Bruce or the Nemanja Vidic headers anymore. Gary Pallister headers. I remember 2 goals from Gary Pallister at Anfield. You know what I mean? Back in the day. You know, so look, look, at the end of the day, that's Arsenal. And one thing I would say about it, Chow, to back everything up, what I would say is that Arsenal are the media team. Okay? There is a big media fan base in regards to Arsenal, a massive media fan base in regards to Arsenal. So a lot of these influencers out there, if I was to counter what I've just said, should I say, so if I was to count a lot of these social media guys out there, they don't want to turn against Arsenal because Arsenal have a big media influence. And as other people have done, and my guy, Terry Flewers, has done it very, very well. He's very, very giddy with Arsenal, very, very enthusiastic with Arsenal. Some say maybe nauseously, if that is in a word. He's very giddy with Arsenal, but I'm not, because I remember the rivalry. I remember the hatred I had for Arsenal and stuff like that. But I actually think they play good football, and I actually think they're not a bad team. I think they're a good team, and yeah, they're going to have a decent season. But you know what? I mean, he has to win something, absolutely. RJ, big up RJ. Do you know Jerry Kake from Rans? No, I haven't looked into him. I'm not going to lie to you. Absolutely, I know that Man United are not in for him. That's the only thing I know. So Manchester United should look at a Juju from Cisse from Rans. 2 runs. Goodness me, you're looking at 2 runs. Guess who? Guess where? What was it? Guess where Petr Cech came from? Was it Petr Cech or Courtois? It was Rans, wasn't it? Onana, kick him out. Big up, William. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Portugal, France, England, Italy, and Spain. One of them going to win it. The rest, no chance. Rest to see, yeah. Can I say something, rest to see? It might sound a little bit crazy, but I actually think Tuchel's going to win something. I got this feeling he's going to stink it out and do something. Guys, I remember he won the Champions League with Chelsea, right? And I think he's actually going to stink it out and he's going to do something. You know what I mean? I really do. Jules, Maz is another great squad player. Absolutely. Will Onana accept the loan? That is the key question, guys. How long is a piece of string? Will Onana accept the loan? Because if Onana doesn't accept the loan, we're back at square one. We got 4 goalkeepers vying for 1 place, guys. So, you know, what I would say is that if for Onana's own benefit, for the World Cup, all that lovely stuff, he should accept the loan deal to Trabzonspor. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. JVC, that's the one, Daryl. Thank you so much. JVC, that's it. It was Arsenal, wasn't it? JVC. Sal, why are our academies, big up Stanley Matthews, entitled, and what makes them get into the social media so much? Don't they see it's happening in the other top clubs? This is the culture that he's trying to change, Stanley. This is the culture that we're trying to remove from this football club, which is a social media generation where liking tweets and stuff like that. They know. Yeah, I mean, Stanley, these players know that once they like a tweet, even if you delete it or retract it, someone's going to catch it. That's what happens. And it's like they almost do it by purpose. It's like they almost do it out of a way to spike something, you know, and this makes me think that they're putting their own personal feelings ahead of the football club. They're putting their own personal feelings ahead of the manager, and that is wrong, right? We were raised on a different generation. We were raised on obviously players that played for the badge, didn't have social media, didn't speak to the papers. Even if they had a boot kicked in their face, they wouldn't be speaking to the media at the end of it. And that is where the respect comes, you know. This is what I'm talking about, asbestos at the football club. We got an asbestos at this football club that will not go away until every inch of that asbestos is gone, right? But Kobe Mainu had 1 good season. He needs to earn his place in that team. If you're being outrun against Grimsby Town, mate, why do you have a divine right to play in that football team? When Bruno came on, things got better. And as much as I want to see a proper number 8 in that position, you didn't do the job when you were playing in that position. You had 1 good game in a year. You know, and that's what we're talking about. You know, and I want nothing more than our youth players to succeed. Youth, courage, success. This is what we're all about. I want nothing but our youth players to succeed. And they're not. He's not. His attitude. It's the attitude. It's the attitude that's changed. It's the I want everything now syndrome. I want everything now. I don't want to wait for it. I don't want to work for it. I want it now. This is what it is at the end. And this is the generation that we're from. That we're dealing with now, should I say. We're from a different generation where, players will wait their turn, and when they get their turn, they'll take their chance and stuff like that. Not now. I should be playing. Why? Why do you deserve a pay rise? Why do you deserve a new contract? Have you won Man United the league? Have you challenged for the Champions League? Have you even challenged for a league title? Let's not talk about contracts. Let's talk about getting on that pitch and starting playing for the club, right? Who the great players of the past gave you a platform to play for, Big up, Stanley. Scott, professionals need to learn to stay out of the baiting clicks on the internet. Be professional and play the game. Absolutely, Scott. Even I know this. That, I get a lot of abuse sometimes on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever it is, mainly on Twitter. I get a lot of abuse, but I ignore it. Because once you ignite it, once you respond, that's like the bacteria. Bacteria starts getting released. And it's all over the airwaves. And, that's what happens. And that brings the club into disrepute, in my opinion. You just need to say, block it out. Who cares? Not everyone's going to like you. You can't be liked by everyone. You just have to say, all right, whatever, mate. Great. Good for you, mate. I'll carry on doing my thing. That doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And especially a professional footballer who's on upteenth amount of money a week, money that people would dream of, only people would dream of, and he's liking tweets. I mean, goodness me. Look, United stand, Mark Goldbridge have never done anything for me. Never done anything for me. They never supported me, even though they should have supported me, and I supported them for many, many years, right? They've never supported me. Mark has never supported me, right? Nobody. I've always had to do things myself, and the wrong people get supported on that channel. I would say that, and which is evident now because of the way those people are acting. But he's been successful at what he does because of the way he does it. And if you fall for it, it's a bit like, you got caught like the maggot, and that's what you do. You don't fall for it. You know what I mean? Heard Marcus Rashford loan from FC Barcelona would be cut. Yeah, I said it this morning, Mark Samuel. They're not loving him, mate. I could have guessed that. I could have known that. They're not loving him. I mean, there was one picture of him, one video of him last week, not passing the ball to Lamine Yamal and shooting from 30, 40 yards, and it just rolled on the floor. Ridiculous, of course. Manchester United academy players could do jobs in the training ground until they should send them off to proper jobs, mate. Understand the value of money, bruv. Understand the value of money and how much someone would have to work to earn 200 grand a week. Not a week. How much an average person will have to work to earn 200 grand, right? The average person in England earns £25,000 a year. A year. These people are earning 200 grand a week. You know what I mean? 100 grand a week, 40 grand a week, 30 grand a week. The lowest paid players earning more than some in 1 week than they would earn in a year. And these people, they don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate it. And these people also have bills and they have all these things that are too expensive for them. So they don't have nothing left. I hope we get Stephen Mafuni, Man City Youth Sal. Big up RJ. Thank you, RJ. I hope we get Stephen Mafuni. Big up my friend, RJ. Big up my friend. Goodwill Kunkunki should be promoted to the Manchester United first team. He played in the friendlies, didn't he? I haven't seen much of him since then, but a very good prospect, of course. RJ, I really want us to get Stephen Mafunis out. Big up, mate. Big up. You never know, RJ. You may get your wish. You never know, Ben. Big up. We need Thuram. Thuram, where is he now? Look, Lillian Thuram would have been good. He's a good right back. He's retired, but I know what you mean. I hate Arsenal to the marrow. They were the true rivals with us for JVC and Dreamcast sponsorship. We had Sharp, so we were good. We had the best sponsorship in the world. Then we had Vodafone, which I think was good as well. You know what I mean? So I'm not too interested about that. The main thing about Arsenal Man United is that we had a great rivalry on the pitch. And that's what it was, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we had a great rivalry on the pitch. Scott, so unfortunately, entitlement taking over sports and all over the world. It is, because we're into the spoiled generation, isn't it? People are spoiled. People want things now. Everyone wants to be this. Everyone wants to be that. Everyone's comparing themselves to this, comparing themselves to that, etc., of course. It needs to stop. The culture needs to change. I mean, it's very difficult. It must be very difficult for new managers these days. I can only sympathize. Big up, Chasen. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Is Onana actually going to leave? This could be a great day for United's history. Like, he's not going to leave. He's going on loan, so he could come back. That's one thing about it. Hopefully, it's an obligation to buy. Hopefully, Man United get a little bit of money for it as well. Let's wait and see what happens, of course. This is just early news, of course, guys. So let's wait and see what happens. But he won't be here this season. That would be great if he chooses to go to them, of course, guys. If he chooses to go to a Trabzonspor, it's good for Man United. But it's whether he does choose to go. Of course, he might be looking at Turkey. He might be looking at Trabzonspor and saying, well, you know what, Trabzonspor, they're not even the best team in Turkey. They're like the 5th best team in Turkey or something like that. He might be thinking like that. You never know, guys. Yes, I've watched it. I watched all the Man United movies, Samuel, every single one of them. Doctors, firemen, policemen, officers should get pay rise because they are so, yeah. Footballers don't understand how much they get it easy, guys. They don't know how much they get there. I mean, 200, 300 grand a week. I mean, it's ridiculous. Not to mention signing on fees, goal bonuses, boot bonuses, sponsorship bonuses, all these things, appearance bonuses, everything like that. International cap bonuses. I mean, they get ridiculous amounts of money and they still moan about it. They need to see the real world at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I mean, 300 grand a week. I mean, that's just, it's too much money. It's like even too much money to think about. I mean, what do you do? What am I going to buy this week? Should I buy another Ferrari? So what should I do? You know what I mean? Every single week. It's like that, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is now these days, isn't it? It's that generation, of course. Rest to see. Onana can't be a fireman, then he can't save the ball. Definitely, he can't be a priest either because he doesn't like crosses as well. He can't catch a cross. Yeah, guys. But that's what it is, guys. But you know what? I hope he goes for Trabzonspor, and I hope he does well there. And obviously Trabzonspor end up buying him. We dodged a bullet with Tel going to Spurs. Yeah, we did. We needed a striker though. There, we still needed a striker last January because obviously we needed it. We couldn't score against Spurs, and any striker would have done, but we didn't put the ball in the back of the net, and we ended up not qualifying for Europe. Of course, as we envisioned last January, of course, guys, yeah. But there we go, guys. But you know what? It is boring international week. It is England are playing today. You know what? Would love to do the watch along, but I don't think there's any point me doing the watch along. I think I'll let you guys snuggle up cozily and watch the England game, and hopefully it's an entertaining one. We always get disappointed by England games, though. That's the one thing about it. We always get disappointed. When England play, it's always disappointing. It's never a 6-7-0 anymore. Cheeto, we're doing well in the under 20. Big up Cheeto. Obi Martin will get his chance. Another one who has to wait. And I mean, I'm looking forward to JJ Gabriel as well. Diego Leon has been doing well. Shea Lacey did well the other day, guys, as well. So looking forward to all these players playing, guys. Absolutely. Guys, thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Absolute legends. Guys, don't forget to join me for tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. I will be live for Breaking Dawn, guys. And I will be live if anything breaks, of course. Never know what the news turns up and stuff like that. Guys, if there's any here we goes or anything like that, we will be here for it. And that'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. But you know what? Thank you, everyone, for supporting the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're here. And don't forget to like the channel as well. Chasen, I hate seeing Cheeto so buried on the team. He is so exciting. I know, but Sesko's there now. So next Sunday afternoon is the Manchester Derby. Yes, next Sunday afternoon we will be here live for the watch along, guys. Very nervous about that, guys. And one thing I would say is that you're going to have to play your part. You're going to have to keep fighting. If you want to play for this club, you're going to have to fight for your place, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, I've seen Cheeto Toyn play in the friendlies. A little bit Bambi on ice. He reminds me of a little bit. Very good talent, but not there yet. Not there yet in regards to strength and balance. Not there yet, but will be. But he has to bide his time. He has to wait, like everyone else, of course, guys. And that's what I would say. I hope Portugal win. Italy win the World Cup. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Italy winning the World Cup. That would be nice, of course. I don't want France to win it. I don't like France winning the World Cup. Absolutely not. Don't like Spain. Wouldn't want Spain to win it. I don't like Spain. I really don't. Spain are arrogant as anything. Spanish. You know what I mean? But you never know what happens in the World Cup. Anyone can win it. England can win it. You never know. It might happen. You never know. Guys, we've got Thomas Tuchel now, haven't we? You know what I mean? Be careful what you wish for. But guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Thank you so much. Sal, have you ever talked to Stephen Alson? No, he's blocked me on Twitter. I don't speak to him. He's a bigot and he's ignorant. People know that. People seen his foreign thing video, of course, which I don't agree with. He hasn't even come out and apologized in regards to that. And he's a manipulative guy. I wish him all the best. Of course, I mean, at the end of the day, and that's all I can say about these guys. Yeah. But it is what it is, guys. You're always going to get that. I'm not from there, Joe. I'm a new generation of content creators who are trying to bring that real talk to about Man United, trying to bring that realness, not that miserableness and that arrogance, that some people have, and that's what they have at the end of the day, guys. Guys, appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day. Have a great evening. I will be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. Please join me for that. Very big show. And I'll see you soon, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy the game. 5-0 England. 5-0 England. Have that. Take it easy, guys. And thank you to all the members, guys. Don't forget, thank you to all the members who join me. Guys, I've got some great content coming up for the members very, very soon, guys. Keep a watch out for that. It's going to be absolutely incredible, guys, what I've got coming. So thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.